Hello students, I am Dr. Javins, Dr. Neeraj Dholia, and today I am from Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Sciences Department, Food and Biotechnology Department. Today we will discuss about the microscopy and methods used in the microscopy. So here are the basic to advanced microscopes. The first one is the microscope, which is made by Anthony van Leeuwenhoek, and this is the regular microscopes, regular compound microscope, and this one is the high-tech microscope, and it is called the electron microscope. So we will cover the our topic in these points: introduction, history, and basics. And in next lecture we will talk about the types of the microscopes. Okay. So let's start with the introduction. So what is microscopy? It is a technical field of using microscopes to view objects that cannot be seen with the unaided eyes. Okay, so things which you cannot see by your eyes, and they are too tiny that you cannot see. So for that purpose, to seeing that objects, you use the microscopes, and that is called the microscopy. So what is the need? Okay, it is self-explanatory that to study the objects which are too small to observe by the unaided eyes. If you want to study that objects that are too small to observe with unaided eyes, you need some technique or some instrument that can magnify the things and you can observe them. So what are the applications of the microscopy? First of all, the specimen identification. Okay, so what is in the sample? It is bacteria or fungus or any other thing. Next application is the cell counting. In routine purpose, the RBC count or the immune cell count and the live and dead cell count you can do with the microscope. Third one is the classification of bacteria. Okay, on the basis of their shapes, like rod shapes, cocci. Okay, you can classify them, or after staining them you can classify them. For example, gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. Okay, then next application is the microscopic analysis of pathological samples. Okay, whenever you are going for any pathological sample testing, like the sputum test, urine test, blood test. Okay, if any infection in your samples, you can observe them with the help of the microscopes. Next, in the research, the structures can be visualized using the microscope, like the cellular membranes, the membrane proteins, intracellular structures. You can also perform the live cell imaging, okay, without staining them, or some stains can kill the cells. So in that case, you can do the live imaging with using some specific types of microscope, like the phase contrast microscope. Okay, where you don't need to stain the cells and you can observe the live cells. Then the colocalization of the proteins, which are connected together and they are localized together. Okay, and they perform some function with association with each other. You can observe their localization into the cell, okay, with the help of the microscopy. And another application is the surface morphology study. Okay, like you can observe the surfaces of the bacteria, okay, and other microorganisms, like the surface morphology of a fungal infection or fungal plot. Okay, so these are some applications of the microscopy. Then comes to the history of the microscopy. The first earliest microscopic observations which appear to have been made, it is between the 1625 and 1630. Okay, it was not the microorganism exactly, but they are tiny animals, and the microscopes were used to observe them. So these are called the microscopic observations. Okay, so here are the figures which was made by the Francisco Stully. Okay, then in 1665 the first drawing of the microorganism was published in Robert Hooke's Micrographia. This is the front cover of the Micrographia. This is the structure of the cork, it is a honeycomb like structure, and the pores, the Robert Hooke called them the cell. It is not the cell which we understand today, but he termed the cells to the hollow spaces in the core. Okay, and he also observed the microfungus mucor, and at that time he told them the hairy mold. Okay, so this is the figure of the microfungus mucor. The first person to publish the extensive accurate observations of microorganisms was the Antony von Leeuwenhoek. Okay, that's why it is he's called the father of microbiology, and he was a draper. Okay, interestingly, he was not a scientist, he was a businessman of clothing. It is the microscopes that he made and how it is held and observed the samples. This is the figure. Antony von Leeuwenhoek termed the microbes as animalcules, which means the tiny animals. The Royal Society of London published his work in the Journal of Philosophical Transitions of the Royal Society. This is the picture he made, and he take the picture from the bacteria from the human mouth. It is a bacilli like structure. It is showing the movement of microorganisms from here to here, and it is the cocci and spirilla, etc. Okay. So the refraction is the most important phenomenon in the microscopy. When a ray of light bend, when it comes from one medium to another medium, it is called the refraction. Okay, and the refraction index measures of how greatly a substance changes the velocity of the light. Okay. So this is the a prism, lens is behave like a collection of prisms, and the reflection occurs. Okay, the light ray bend, and the lens condense the light at a point that is called the focal point, and this is called the focal length. So our eyes cannot focus the object near about 25 centimeter. Okay, if 25 centimeter, if the things comes closer from the 25 centimeter, you cannot focus that thing. So magnifying glasses provides a clear image at much closer range, and the object appears larger. Okay, when the focal length is lesser, okay, means you got the larger image. So magnification is inversely proportional to the focal length. What is magnification? It is the ratio of the size of the retinal image with microscopes and without microscope. So in a compound microscope you have more than one lenses, and the magnification is the multiplication of the both of the lenses magnification. Okay. Next, we need a clear image, not just magnified. Okay, so there is a second term, that is resolution. Okay, your microscope can magnify the image, but it should be clear. So what is the resolution? Resolution is the ability of a lens to separate or distinguish between the small objects that are close together. Okay, so resolution is the ability to separate two objects optically. Okay, here is the magnified image, but it is not resolved. The 2 points are merged. Okay, it is partially resolved and it is perfectly resolved, means the 2 points you can distinguish the both points. So resolution is also a important factor in a microscopic quality. So the resolution is calculated by the above equation, that is d is equal to 0.5 lambda upon n sin theta, where d is the minimal distance between two objects that reveals them as separate entities. Okay, lambda is the wavelength of light, and n sin theta is the numerical aperture. It is important. What is numerical aperture? It is the ability of lens to gather light. Okay, this is the numerical aperture. N sin theta, where n is the refractive index. It is the fixed value for any material or any substance or any medium, and theta is the half of the angle of the cone light entering the object. That is the half angle of the cone. It is called the theta. So how it is calculated? It is d is equal to 0.5 lambda upon n sin theta. So each medium have different refractive indices. Air have the refractive index of 1. In case of maximum resolution, if theta is 90 degree, the sine 90 degree is equal to 1, and the maximal numerical aperture for a lens cutting air is 1. For the best resolution we use the oil immersion. At that case, the practical numerical aperture you got the 1.25. In this case, if you have the light, blue green light that have the wavelength of 530 nanometer, the resolution you got is 0.2 micrometer. Okay, so here are the resolutions of the human eye, that is 0.2 millimeter. The light microscope has the resolution of 0.2 micrometer, and the electron microscopes, that is the best microscopes, have the resolution of the 2 nanometer, means they can distinguish the points which are close about the 2 nanometer. Okay, you can distinguish both the points with the help of the electron microscope. So this is a typical compound microscopes. Here are the ocular lens. Okay, it is the objective turret. It have the different objective lenses. It is the stage where you put your slide